of Reid's recruitment strategy with Juju?
You know, I'm from Pittsburgh. So to hear that was what Coach Andy Reid did, he spent way too much time in Pennsylvania on the losing side of the state, on the eastern side, not the west, because, you know, the west side is the right side. There's no way that you try to recruit a man away from a play. He's probably so inundated with Lombardi trophies. He sees so many Lombardi trophies. He sees so many great players from the history of that organization every single day. Come on, Andy. Use your imagination a little bit better than that. Don't be trying to make it personal and take shots at Pittsburgh because you were on the other side of the state. Use a different tactic, because that one clearly isn't going to work with a Steeler player.
Oh, I don't know, LeVar. Look, I'm from Pittsburgh, too, and I grew up watching you. You actually grew up with some of my family members on the north side.
But you
okay, but that's okay. But I understand that it's
still
black and yellow is in my blood.
We still playing you, but you went away, B. March.
Yes,
you
but
didn't
it's
deal
still
with the
in my blood. And here's the deal. We haven't won a Super Bowl in so long. No. We're talking about right now, today. We're not talking about, 10 years ago, 20 years, 30 years ago. We're talking about right now. And right now, the Kansas City Chiefs are the Lamborghini dealership in the NFL. What do I mean by that? Lambo, you don't ever see a Lambo marketing ad. You don't see it. Why? Because they don't have to. They just show you the car. You see the car driving, and you're like, I want that. That's what Kansas City is. So when Coach Andy Reid sends you a picture of the Lombardi Trophy, you go. I feel like he made the wrong decision, Nick, because this team right now is set up for success, not only for this year, but probably for the next 10 years. So if the money is similar, then go get you a Lombardi Trophy. That's what we playing the game for, right?
So here's the thing, though, and I want to ask you a couple questions here, Brendan, because you're playing the game to win, yes, but you're also playing the game to set up your family lifetime, right? And Juju hasn't ever yet fully cashed in. And the Steelers or the Chiefs, neither were offering him the type of money he was hoping to get this offseason. And while everyone agrees Mahomes is obviously better than Ben Roethlisberger, do you think there is an argument to be made that because the Steelers throw the ball so much and because the Steelers don't have a Tyreek Hill or a Travis Kelce, that if he needs to have a monster year and then cash in next season, that's the argument to him going back to Pittsburgh? Nobody thinks that it's to win, that he has a better chance of winning a championship there. But to use your Lamborghini analogy, because I know you're a car guy, my guess is at one point in your life, or maybe even right now, you had maybe 4 super nice cars. Well, whichever the fourth one, your fourth favorite is, doesn't get driven that much. It might look great in the driveway, but it doesn't get the miles on it. I think Juju wants to be the nicest car in a driveway, even if it's not as nice of a driveway as the one up the street. Like, does that as a wide receiver, for a guy who hasn't been paid, does that resonate with you? Because I think that's the choice Juju made.
Yep. Well, 100%. I mean, it reminds me of my time in Chicago. Jay Cutler, I knew I was going to be targeted 170 times a year. That's going to put me in the top 3 in that category every single year. I was going to have 100 catches. But then there comes a time when you have to make a decision on what does the next 5, 10 years look for me. Because in that moment, I decided to go back and chase that 100 catches and chase something with Jay Cutler, and we end up losing. But what did I turn down? I turned down a chance to potentially go to New England Patriots. They were calling. I had to decide, do I want to take this extension and play with Jay Cutler, or do I go and win a Super Bowl with Tom Brady and the New England Patriots? So I'm looking at Juju Smith right now, Wilds, and the way I look at it is, yes, you have the chemistry with Big Ben, but you have Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in the game today, who could potentially go down as the best quarterback ever if he keeps this up for the next 10 years. That's a big what if. And you have Andy Reid, and you're talking about an offense that makes sense. So you could go out there, know you're not going to be the number one guy, but Jay could have potentially 3 guys with 1,000 yards. That's been done before. You go back to the Denver days, and I can give you so many different scenarios. You go to the Indianapolis Colts with Peyton Manning and Reggie Wayne and Clark, and you got Marvin Harrison. So I feel like he made the wrong decision, Wilds, but it's only time will tell.
Okay, I like that analysis. That's far more relatable than Nick talking about you owning 4 Lamborghinis. I think there's like several people.
I didn't say 4 Lamborghinis.
Brandon started off with that. Brandon started off with that whole analogy. Crumble that thing up and throw it away, man. They both jacked that out. Don't get it, Wild.
You know what it reminds me of, very much? That's like when you're shopping for a Lamborghini.
How many people?
Am I right, guys? Shopping for a Lamborghini, isn't it? Such a pain.
Brandon, I knew what you meant, man.
Nick, earlier.
Ignore them. I knew what you meant, Brandon.
Thank you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Earlier, you said that you put the over-under at actually 1.5 pictures, and you're taking the under. That's because Andy Reid only has 1 Lombardi trophy. Tom Brady currently has it, and thank goodness Bill Belichick didn't recruit him. He'd have to put us on mute. Oh, here's my 2 with the Giants, and here's another one, and another one. And Jude would be like, oh, 2 minutes trophy, too much stress. So I like him in Pittsburgh. It's nice. Bill Belichick didn't blow up your text feed with all the pictures of the Lombardi trophy. It'd be too much.
And also Belichick smartly, Jenna, it seems like he wasn't in the game for Juju, because even though he knows he needs a wide receiver, he knows Juju Smith-Schuster is not signing with the Patriots. So he didn't even waste his text. He's 100 texts a month.
I remind them that every day. All right, let's move on. Let's head down to Miami. I agree. Let's talk some Tua now. Dolphins Pro Bowl cornerback Byron Jones setting the table for Tua's sophomore season. He said, quote, "We expect a big jump from Tua this season." LeVar, start with you. You also expect a big jump from Tua?
Well, no, I don't. Why would he even say that? I mean, God bless you. Want to support your teammate, but there's nothing about adding Will Fuller or some of the players that we already see there that would say he would take a tremendously large step. Will he be a better football player? Yes, because of the awareness and the experience. But to say he's going to take this super, super large step, I think it was an unneeded and an unnecessary vote of confidence, to be honest. Tua will be fine. He just has to play within himself. Nobody has to put his ball downfield. And I think that's what everybody's trying to do. He just needs to play his game and develop within this system.
Yeah, but LeVar, if you're Byron Jones and you know you have Brian Flores, he's one of the greatest coaches, one of the great coaches in the National Football League. He understands situational football. He knows how to lead men. He understands the X's and O's on, in all 3 phases. And then you see a defense that has everything it needs to be, a premier defense in this league. And you know that Tua is the only thing that can slow you down. That's all he's doing is coming out saying, you know what? We need you. We need you to take that next step, because if he does, it is scary for everyone else in the AFC West. I mean, in the AFC East, it is scary. So Tua right now, the only thing that he needs to focus on is getting the ball out of his hands quickly, because everybody else on that team is ready to go. Tua needs to figure out what he needs to do to make sure that step, right, is the right one, because this team is really good and they're primed and they're ready to go.
He's got 1,000-yard receiver, and he wasn't even a 1,000-yard receiver last year. He's got 1, I believe, and that's in Devontae Parker.
Well, I think
which one of these guys gives you the reason to think he's going to make a tremendous jump? I mean, I don't see that. We don't even know if Fuller can stay healthy right now.
No,
I think they're either going to take. Okay, so they're going to have their choice.